CinePals.
I promise you, I did not plan it this way. I wore my Wolverine t-shirt to support, and it just so happens that I have a Deadpool-colored interior of my car here. Welcome to my office. I just got out of the movie, and I'm not going to bury the lead. It's a remarkably good film. Somehow, they've managed to pull it off. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
The only thing that maybe made it better... Oh, thanks, lady. Someone is getting into their car and leaving shortly. Lots of people are leaving, so this is getting more and more awkward by the moment. I'll do my best.
Are you ready?
But the only thing that made this movie better was the older lady sitting next to me who kept going, oh dear, oh my stars, oh Lord, oh, wow, oh, I'm like, which, lady, what movie did you think you were about to watch? This is Deadpool. By the end, she was clapping, so it worked out. Thank you. It worked out for all of us in the audience. You have to watch this with an audience. On that note, though, shame on the theater for front-ending this with so many trailers. Normally, it's like 15 minutes of previews. The showtime was 3:20. The movie did not start till 3:51. What the heck? They knew. They knew you weren't going anywhere. There, I said it. Something I kind of knew going into the film that I was reminded of halfway through the movie was why Ryan Reynolds took a while to get this thing written and why it took a while to get made. It's because there's so much that Deadpool has to live up to. They've set the bar quite high. One of the things that always catches me off guard is how much heart Deadpool movies have. Man, it hits you. It's got the ha-has, it's got the heart, it's got the characters, it's got a strong story to go with it. It's breaking the fourth wall, as Deadpool does.
Right on brand.
It does all of this, and it also really does help the MCU. It's a joke that he makes in the ad.
I am Marvel Jesus.
Dude, he manages to pull things together in a way that's like, well, look, would you look at that? He's clowning everything. Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, he's clowning everything. At the same time, he's very respectful. It's like, okay, what does a Marvel sequel, just a Marvel sequel, have to do? I mean, sequels in general kind of do what some of the things I'm about to say. I'm going to say Marvel sequel for the sake of this conversation. Has to be as good or better than its predecessor. It's got to have cameos.
Hello, Steven.
It's gotta have surprises, it's gotta be familiar but fresh, as you would say in Save the Cat, you know, familiar but different. It's gotta be highly entertaining, it's gotta make you laugh.
Don't just stand there, give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay.
And this film does all of that. We've seen what happens when you just go fan service. It hurt Star Wars.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Ryan Reynolds understands, this is what has been wrong, and I have to do fan service. I will make Marvel Jesus.
Marvel Jesus.
Like, he really does. It's amazing. The movie makes you laugh. It almost makes you cry. The action is mind-blowing at times. There's one action scene in particular that knocked my socks off, and it's hard to do that. I'm more hypercritical when it comes to action and fight scenes and whatnot. I'm a huge lover of action. That's why I'm even more critical of it. It comes from a place of love. There is some action in the film where I'm like, it's fine. It helps getting you from point A to point B at times. But there is some action in this movie that is genuinely mind-blowing, where I'm like, how did they... It's a beautiful symphony of chaos that's happening on screen. Only thing I can compare it to is Oldboy and that bus sequence in Shang-Chi.
Oh my God.
And you're doing this with two characters? This is so crazy. How did they do that? That's amazing. Like, what? There's so many surprises in this movie. Obviously, I'm not talking about any of them. I'm being very careful here. It's not just like, you know, here's something flashy to surprise you for the sake of fan service. It's not that shallow. They take that and they give you so much off of that.
Marvel Jesus.
It's not just a cameo appearance and peace out like Daredevil in Spider-Man No Way Home. Not that there was anything wrong with that. That made me very happy. Imagine if in Spider-Man No Way Home, Charlie Cox or Daredevil was really part of the story, at least a little bit more than he was in Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, how amazing would that have been? And the thing that you feel like while it's like doing the ha-has and stuff like that is you feel the love for the material that it's clowning. And I kind of said that earlier, but like, it feels like it's just totally giving the middle finger to everything, but it's doing it with love.
Stop it.
Another thing that dawned on me as the film was, you know, reaching the crescendo of its plot is how unselfish Ryan Reynolds is. Now, what do I mean by that? It easily could have been that Wolverine just has a glorified cameo.
Let's go.
But it's emblazoned in the title, Deadpool Wolverine. And they definitely share this story. It's as much a Wolverine story as it is a Deadpool story. That blew me away, just realizing that and seeing that unfold and how it's connecting everything together in the most effective way possible. I was so floored. You take everything you've experienced with Marvel up to now, with those characters up to now, and you get something that is both so satisfying and so new and so surprising.
About damn time!
I'm just so happy. The Wolverine in this movie feels akin to the Wolverine that we got in Logan. It works very, very well. It's amazing how well Wolverine and Deadpool go together because, you know, on the one hand you have this grimacing, very intense, serious Clint Eastwood type in a costume, and then you have this Joker on the other side.
Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Who can't keep his mouth shut, who's constantly, you know, clowning everything in sight. Those two personalities play off of each other as well as Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. They just go together very, very well. Oh, hello, we got a new person took the Parker spot. They go together very, very well. I don't know if it's just that those characters, in the way that they have been constructed, work very well together, or if it's also the fact that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds seem to get along so well. It's probably both. I watched the Hot Ones episode earlier today with Achara that they were interviewed on. What's abundantly clear is how strong their friendship is. At least that's what's communicated through the camera, and that's what's communicated in this movie as well. It's so much fun to watch them together. It's so much fun to watch them go through this plot together and beat each other up. Another thing that, you know, a really, really good movie often has is a really, really good villain, and this film has a really good villain. That villain is strong and horrific at times. Like, the things that this villain does is so uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, that's new. Somehow you found a new thing there to do and make me feel uncomfortable. But yeah, man, like, it impresses. It impresses in a profound way.
Marvel Jesus.
Between the ha-has, the action, the story, and the characters and the heart.
I am soaking wet right now.
It's not often you get a movie that's able to do all that. Obviously, I just got out of the theater. I just got done watching the movie, and I don't want to say anything prematurely, but this might be my favorite Deadpool movie because of everything that it was able to do. Somehow, Ryan Reynolds was able to get a redemption story out of Deadpool. It's the third chapter, and yet there's a redemption story here. Like, that's amazing. It's such a strong movie. You gotta watch it in theaters. You gotta watch it with a packed audience if possible. And if you have to watch it at home, don't watch it alone. Watch it in a group setting of some kind. At least one other person. Yeah, it's awesome. And you're gonna have a great time. So, have fun.